The next item in the agenda is the address by the chief guest. I would like to call upon the President of the College of Surgeons, Dr. K.L. Fernando, to introduce the chief guest, Professor Dasari Fernando.
Guest of honor, Mrs. Marisol, our past presidents, members of the council, fellows and members, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. It's my great pleasure to introduce this audience, Professor Dasari Fernando, a remarkable individual who has adorned everything that he has touched. Professor Dasari Fernando was educated at St. Thomas's College, Mount Lebanon, and is presently a member of the Board of Governors. He qualified from the medical faculty at Colombo University with honors, winning the gold medal in operative surgery. He obtained fellowship from both Edinburgh and England colleges, and subsequently trained in the UK under the renowned surgeons Sir John Gallagher, Sir Rodney Smith, and Sir Alan Park, and later in Japan. His pioneering efforts resulted in the establishment of gastroenterology in Sri Lanka. He is the founder president and now a patron of the Gastroenterology and Digestive Endoscopy Society of Sri Lanka. He is also the founder professor of surgery, the dean of the Faculty of Medical Sciences, as well as the acting vice chancellor of the University of Sri Jayawardenepura. He is a member of the Sri Lanka Medical Council and has held high posts in the College of Surgeons of Sri Lanka, including council member, a treasurer, and president. He has also held public posts as commissioner of the Public Service Commission and many other presidential commissions. And for his services to this country, he has been awarded national honors twice, Vishwa Prasadini and Vidya Jyoti. May I call upon Professor Dasari Fernando to address us? Professor Dasari.
President, members of the Council of the College of Surgeons of Sri Lanka, past presidents of the college, guest of honor Ms. Mari South, distinguished invitees, ladies and gentlemen. I consider it a great privilege to be invited as a chief guest on this most important event in the calendar of the College of Surgeons of Sri Lanka. Mr. President, I thank you very much. It is indeed a great honor. I consider it a great privilege to be invited as a chief guest on the occasion because I'm very happy to be associated in this event for many reasons. Firstly, the occasion marks the induction of my good friend Dr. K.L. Fernando as the new president of the college. Secondly, the guest of honor this evening is Ms. Mari South. I met Ms. Mari South first at St. George's Hospital, Hyde Park Corner in London in 1976. Then I was awarded the Smith and Neville Fellowship to train in gastroenterological surgery, and I trained under Sir Rodney Smith. Now, for the benefit of the younger members, Sir Rodney Smith, later Lord Smith of Marlow, was then the world-renowned hepatobiliary surgeon, and Murray South was the most energetic senior registrar of the unit. We as trainees used to marvel at the way Murray South worked, moving from theatre to theatre. But it is not at all easy working to the satisfaction of someone who demands perfection, and that is Sir Rodney. Miss South, we are indeed very happy to have you with us, and we are honored to have you with us, and we warmly welcome you to Sri Lanka. Thirdly, this is a historic occasion for the college in that Dr. K.L. Fernando is the first president to be inducted in office in our very own auditorium, for the construction of which Dr. K.L. Fernando was one of the key persons who worked tirelessly. I know that on one occasion, when the contractors became difficult and the costs were high, Dr. K.L. Fernando took the crease, accepted the challenge, and finished the work. I am well aware of the time and energy he spent for the sake of the college in building this auditorium. And in this task, he was very ably supported by his wife, Srimati. He worked even on Sundays and public holidays. So at the very outset, Mr. President, I offer to you my sincere congratulations on your election to this high office, which you so richly deserve. I have no doubt that your long commitment and loyalty to the ideals and causes which this college represents, and the recognition of your high qualities of devotion, ability, and tact have been responsible for your election. Though much delayed, your acceptance of this post will be hailed by all members with great satisfaction. I am reminded of a few lines from poem Lord Bunyan's in one of his famous books. And though he doth very softly go, however, it is not fast or slow, but sure. And certainly, they that do travel so, prize they aim at, they do procure. Mr. President, I rejoice with you on this wonderful opportunity that has come your way to serve not only the College of Surgeons of Sri Lanka, but the country as well. I wish that you will derive from this work the satisfaction that comes to a man from the knowledge that he is serving mankind. Now your appointment comes at a time when peace has been restored and the whole country is geared to a massive development drive. Today, the country is politically and economically different. Cities are becoming increasingly interconnected at an astonishing pace with rapid construction of roads, highways, and expressways, along with harbors, airports, and other infrastructure facilities that goes with it. We see this at Hambantota in the south, Badulla in the Uva, and north and east that is fast rising from the dust. The vision of the President of Sri Lanka is not development alone, but development with equity. I think this should not be shouldered by the government alone. I think it requires the commitment and contribution of all professional bodies. We too, as surgeons belonging to a professional body, have a role to play. And Mr. President, you have been inducted in office today to give leadership to the College of Surgeons in this direction. Now, as the people have access to new opportunities that are rapidly unraveling outside Colombo and the big cities, the need of the hour is to make the main hospitals in every district centers of excellence for surgery, including subspecialties, and more importantly, to upgrade the surgical services in these developing areas. This means we require surgeons to work in these areas. You may say that this is a problem of the Ministry of Health, but they have problems when the appointments are not accepted by the surgeons. But we as a college must understand the reluctance of the young surgeons to work in a resource-constrained setting. Surgeons who arrive in these areas often face challenges they have never faced before. Surgical activities in such a situation means working with local staff that is often poorly trained, who are used to living a leisurely lifestyle, and a great variation of anesthetic facilities to perform a variety of procedures. We must understand that most of these surgeons have just returned with their young families after foreign training in institutions that are equipped with all the modern technological facilities. So the conditions under which they have to work will naturally be unacceptable to them. We must handle this with sensitivity and care. I can remember when I was in the council, young surgeons appointed to certain peripheral hospitals complaining to the college of the absence of sophisticated equipment which they have been accustomed to during their overseas training. Now looking at my own life, soon after I returned from overseas training, I was appointed as surgeon for Narua. When I went there, there wasn't even a proper operating theatre. There was no anesthetist. But today, hospitals like this are doing well due to those who face the obstacles and play their roles. Ladies and gentlemen, as said before, there are many other problems these young surgeons have to face. Housing, schooling for their children, and even entertainment facilities. Now, this is in contrast to their colleagues working in the big cities. But with the change of government policy to develop the village, today this scenario is visibly different and is rapidly changing. There is a definite shift in decisive thinking, a willingness to continue to work in suburban areas among these new opportunities that are available to them. Looking back, I think that we as a college was thinking ahead, or should I say that we had foresight of these events, when we realized the need to change the training program and included a period of training in hospitals outside the teaching hospitals. That was indeed a good move. That was a wise move. And today, that decision has to be taken further. And as teachers and trainers, instill in the minds of our young trainees from the very beginning the necessity and usefulness of a period of service in peripheral hospitals after board certification. This would provide for the needs of surgical services in developing areas. It's my experience that working alone under difficult conditions makes a young surgeon confident, and it would also enhance his surgical skills. Perhaps as an incentive, Mr. President, we may ask the Minister of Health for an additional allowance for working in these difficult areas, and even offer fellowships abroad for certain periods of service in these areas. Ladies and gentlemen, yet another genuine grievance, which I think is most important, is the absence of intellectual stimulation when working in distant hospitals. There are hardly any library facilities in these places. Access to internet to update their knowledge